Welcome back to the M3 Podcast. This week, we got Dalton, Phillip, Ricky. I'm losing it before we even start. So today we're just going to rapid fire random questions, and then every 4 or 5 we'll throw in a business question and just have some fun with it. So I know a lot of times these are pretty serious about someone's story, and this is going to be entertainment more so, and then
a little change up.
Yeah, maybe some knowledge somewhere in there. So just a forewarning of what you're getting yourself into. So Dalton's question master number 1.
Question master number 1, huh? Question 1 is going to be, I like this one. If you could delete one commonly used phrase forever, what would it be?
Ricky,
I think I know.
He had something.
I did. I almost had something, and I'm trying to remember exactly what it is that people say. Like the take it easy or whatever. Like just
as like a goodbye.
Yeah.
Like take it easy, man. You know, like that?
No, that's not what it is. There's one that really rubs me the wrong way. No,
I do. I'm like, I use that a lot.
Oh, it'll come to me. Come back to me.
Can we go after like a certain generation of like something that they're saying?
Yeah.
It's like kids that are saying like, "Oh, that shit's fetch." Like I don't feel like it makes no sense.
Kids say that?
Yeah.
Who are you talking to?
Mine's probably
you
dead
guys
ass.
just aren't do what?
Dead ass. I fucking hate that shit.
Yeah.
Dead ass.
Dead
I don't know.
ass.
I kind of like that.
Dead ass. Yeah, it's kind of got a good ring to it.
Dead ass.
I'm not a fan. That one's coming online.
Yeah. What's yours, Phillip?
I don't know. It's something my kids say a lot because going back to that language, what the Sigma?
Oh,
yeah,
is one.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I think these new kids just making up completely random words.
Yeah,
is.
But our parents probably thought the same thing. That we did that.
Oh, 100%. We all had that lingo back then.
Like what random?
Just
words?
a different.
Yeah, we didn't make
different
up just
words.
Like what?
Shit, I gotta think back.
Yeah, they're hard to like pinpoint, but
I feel like most of the words we used as kids growing up, and even through high school and stuff, were like still normal words.
I think we still use them. Yeah,
and that's why we can communicate with the older generation. And
we're using the same language.
Yeah, like 15-year-olds can't.
That is a fair point.
Like, what did you say? I don't feel like I ever got that.
Should we move on to the next question?
You are the question master, so you're called
random question to start. A lot of thinking down there.
This is a decent. Not everyone may be able to answer this, but what's a childhood belief you only recently found out was wrong?
Santa Claus, man. I really thought he was coming down the chimney, and it's not the case.
You just ruined that for everyone that's listening to this. Hopefully, Philip's kids aren't watching.
Yeah, make sure they don't watch.
We're gonna have to edit that out. Xavier, cut that part.
My oldest already knows. I just hope she doesn't tell the younger two.
You know, I'll say the belief that this is something I thought was going to be a lot bigger issue that I was going to run into in life, but I thought quicksand was going to be a pretty big problem for me. So,
dude, that's a good point.
Ultimately, when I was a child, I was like kind of fearful of it. And
where do you find quicksand? You guys should know that.
Why should I know that?
You're a scientist.
Yeah, so I can get a discount on my insurance.
Did you not talk about quicksand in geology?
In deserts.
Yeah, kind of
wet areas of deserts.
So look at me, I don't know.
I think.
If we were taught that, I wasn't paying attention.
If I had
to
to
that
guess,
point.
That's what I would say.
Deserts?
I've never fallen into
like an oasis in a desert.
Also, I thought I was going to be on fire a lot more because you practice stop, drop, and roll a lot.
That's true.
Like
very true.
Weird stuff. Like thought tornadoes would come all the time.
Yeah.
Like get under your desk and you got to do tornado drills like every month.
Speaking of tornadoes, you guys seen that new Twister documentary on Netflix?
I did.
Yeah, I've fallen asleep like 5 times so far trying to watch it.
I haven't watched it all. I fell asleep.
Shit's wild.
All right, next question. Yeah. Guess we're not spending a lot of time at large river mouths.
If your life had a background soundtrack, what would we playing right now?
Background soundtrack. Rick Ross. Just rolling around in my bins.
I don't even know.
All right, this one's easier. If you were a kitchen appliance, what would you be and why?
Whoa.
I mean, There's
So, let's
only a
start this.
handful of
What would you be?
appliances. I'd be a refrigerator. Well, if I was drinking whiskey right now, I might be, but I'd be a refrigerator.
Ricky, what are you?
You know, I think I'd be the air fryer. Quick and efficient.
Quick and
There
efficient.
you go.
Versatile, can do a lot of things.
Not expecting that.
Yeah, a little bit trendier, you know, a little bit
I was
new.
gonna say one of the top, 4
I
main
like
ones
that.
in the kitchen: refrigerator, microwave, oven.
Are you the microwave?
I was gonna go with him, refrigerator.
Because we're so cold.
Oh, that's good.
Ice in the veins.
That's good,
Nice.
man.
All right, Dane, what are you?
Espresso machine.
You have all the energy.
All the energy.
You're the energy guy.
I am the energy guy. That's a pretty good one. I was gonna go with like a mixer because I'm just always mixing things up, but
like a dough
that sounded
mixer
cheesy.
or-
That sounded really cheesy.
All right, Dre, what would
That
you
might have
be?
to be cut.
What would you be, Dre?
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. Nope. Good thing Dre's way across the room and he doesn't have a mic. All right. What's next? Business question.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. How do you evaluate whether a new idea is worth pursuing?
That's it's kind of crazy because we had this conversation this morning. I think it's really like talking it out with people around you. Look at this. We just went from like what kitchen appliance we are to like this was such a terrible idea. So if somebody's going to spend their time with us right now, we apologize. So hopefully you get something.
Hopefully, you're just catching these reels on social.
Yeah. But I think talking out with people that you respect their input is very, very valuable on it. And also having someone play devil's advocate in it from a different position that I almost like kind of a debate on something, kind of like we had this morning. Like it's a different viewpoint to say when you do make that decision, I feel like it ends up being a more confident decision saying, okay, wait out this option. And then you also have to think about it a little bit further for like, there was things I thought about this morning and came up with as we were going over it of like talking through it, that the idea can kind of hold more of its own weight at that point.
Yeah, you
If
got
that
to
makes
get more
sense.
perspectives on it.
Yeah.
And then you can start to figure out like what are the pros and cons of taking on a new endeavor. Because one thing we do see businesses run into sometimes is they try to take on too many random different things. And if they don't like support that main vertical, then they can get distracted. But if it's some type of new offer or some type of new program or whatever it is, and it stays in that same lane and builds on itself, then generally a good idea. But if you're like, if you have a restaurant and then you're like, oh, I heard a lot of people are making money doing roofs. What if we do that on the weekends? Like then that's a massive distraction.
For sure. I think your environment, who you talk to, matters too. Because not everyone around you has your best interest or has the input, like he was saying, the input needed to make that next step and to move forward. You know what I mean? Like I could sit here and talk to you about an idea and you may not disagree with it from the get-go. Your input and your energy about that's going to be all negative, right? So like if you have an idea, you don't know until you try. You fail, you hit it the 10th time, you win big. So having those people around you that have been there or have seen that track of success matters a lot as well.
I think that's the key, though. Is giving it time, though. I feel like people have so many ideas, they'll implement them, and then it's like, are we standing the test of time? Like, have we given it long enough to test? So I think that's also, like you said, keep trying to the 10th try. Well,
You definitely have a lot of, I think, big business players that we sit at the table with now. You can see, like to Dalton's point, where they'll make a business decision, but they're looking at year-over-year numbers. They look at a longer horizon of growth patterns, where there's a lot of these small business owners that they look at a week over week. And there's, like, I hated the car business when the Chiefs did well. Like the car business, when the Chiefs do really well and they're going into playoffs, people are spending money on Chiefs tickets or not thinking about a new car. And then if a game comes up on a Saturday,
Ghost Town.
we would literally just sit on the couch all day. Like there was no shot of you seeing a person. To where it was ultimately there was no way for us to outmarket that. There was no way for us to outperform the Kansas City Chiefs. To where it's out of our kind of hands. But so when you look at, if we were looking at that as week over week, there's dealers and there's business owners in general that will change everything because of that week. And I'm like, There comes things that there's external pressure on a business, and you have to be able to understand what that is. So, and not just make fast, rash decisions just because you want to.
Yeah.
And I'm guilty of it sometimes. I change shit up all the time that, all right, comes on my head, I start saying it, and then it's like we roll, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. My deal is I just always want to be I want some sort of action to be happening, because I feel like ultimately we can have 5 ideas or 10 ideas and 9 of them fail and we hit one. We only need the one.
That's one thing I think our team's exceptionally good at, is taking that fast action, because you're exactly right. And I mean, the same thing with a lot of the business owners that we talk to every day is the main reason they're successful is because they took the action and started, and they didn't hem and haw over the decision forever.
Right,
Yeah.
for sure.
They just took that step, and then they kind of figured it out on their way.
I like it.
Question
like
master?
We on to me now? I think Dan will have an answer for this one. What's a hill that you'll die on that absolutely no one else will agree with?
I'll die on.
Yeah, it's a hill you'll die on.
Like a
So
like
like
a
a
statement,
like a
something that you
statement
just
or like
stand
a-
by.
a-
Like
Yeah.
That no one else will be on with you.
I mean,
I feel like I've heard you like say certain things. I can't like pinpoint one right
like
now.
there's certain
but, like,
things that there's like unpopular opinions, and I think in today's world that we just have, there's soft people out there. It's like I run with winners fucking win and losers fucking lose, and like I'll stand by that through and through. I don't care what someone else says. Like winners agree with that, losers disagree with that statement, and they get offended and they get bent out of shape. But it's like I feel like there's a lot of things in life that when you have morals and you have values of whatever those are, like stand by them. And we talk about our core values at MMG, like I stand by those. Like when people don't take extreme ownership or whatever, integrity, the challenger spirit, communication, whatever those things are, I will die on that hill all day, every day. And I don't care how somebody pitches me thinking that there's a different way on those. Like, but I think winners fucking win, losers fucking lose. Like,
I like it.
I don't think you
Is
need
it-
cardio to be in good shape.
Facts.
low blow to me. I've been doing 45 minutes on the Stairmaster.
Hey,
every day.
I think it's good for you. And I leaned into that a lot more in the past. I think you probably need cardio for good health. That's still important, but
I was doing it because sometimes when I got out of breath putting my shoes on, I was like, hey,
see, I
it's
think
time to-
that's a good thing.
Take a walk down the street.
yeah.
But when I was doing like bodybuilding shows and stuff, never really did cardio. Just step count and dieting. That's where my head initially went, and then I heard your response, and it was a lot more thought out.
I wouldn't say mine was real thought out.
Yeah,
It's just a statement I make a lot of times that I feel like it offends some people.
It does. I feel like sometimes it gets a little bit of backlash, but
Yeah, but it's like I feel like if somebody gets offended by anything someone says, like nobody can offend me. Like I don't get offended by what somebody says. Like I feel like if someone gets offended by what someone else is saying, then they feel like it's directed towards them. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, if I make that statement over 50 people standing in front of us, if somebody gets offended by that, it's because they think that they're on the losing side.
It's an internal reflection a lot of times.
Yeah. And I think some people are fearful of having that conversation with themselves. When somebody externally says that, then it's all of a sudden they want that external excuse. They would say that person's wrong. That person, whatever excuse or statement or whatever they want to make up in their head. My thing is I have those conversations with myself. There's days I don't win. There's days I have to face that man in the mirror and say, you have to be better. You're missing the mark. But most people don't have that conversation. Just somebody else says something like, oh, they're mean. They say mean things. Like, great. If you want to leave, life is not an easy place.
Wow.
You think if it's going to be easy and you're going to go out there and just everything's going to be rainbow and sunshines and fucking, and there's a lot of people that live in that made up world. They wonder why life ends up so hard. I don't know if that was a little tangent off of Dalton's question.
On to the next. If animals could vote, which species would run the world?
Say that again?
If animals could vote, which species would want run the
Eagles,
world?
man.
Are you talking about if they could vote?
That's
Is
this is
how
the
many of them
this is
there
the
are?
question.
Like,
Dogs.
No, I think it's more like which animal would you choose to rule the world?
Roaches?
which one we would choose?
I mean, it's open for interpretation here, so we can do whatever we
Any
want.
animals. But obviously, vote. You need a lot of them, so it can't be.
I'm going to say the lion.
I was thinking elephant
Why the
because
elephant?
they're smart and huge, and they don't really have a predator except for us.
Everybody has a dog, man. I'd outnumber you guys all day long. If dogs could vote, hands down, I'd have the most.
He's just going on pure numbers.
What breed would it be?
Philip walking in just hundreds of chihuahuas.
Like when you're saying dog.
They're like
point,
that's like an eighth of a vote there.
I
You
did
get an
have
eighth
a
of a vote per
Pomeranian
dog.
Chihuahua, and he was the coolest little dude around.
Like he,
Can we get an AI photo made of
What?
Philip after this walking down the street with like thousands of chihuahuas?
Again, it's
I
open
want
for
that to be the
interpretation. I don't
cover photo. I
know.
want
It
somebody
doesn't
to figure that
specify
out.
that, so
There we go.
I don't know. Again, random question from ChatGPT. So.
I love the principle of the lion.
dude, I'm telling you, we were in southern Missouri for Lauren's birthday at an Airbnb, and we were in a river. We were doing some fishing, and there were some bald eagles hanging out in the tree up. There were like 5 or 6. It was pretty legit.
Yeah.
They've got a pretty impressive presence up there.
They do.
The last time I went hunting, that's about all I saw.
Bald
Bald
eagles.
eagle. He was just chilling up in the tree for an hour.
So my thing is, I look at it as like, okay, we're man out here. Say we back up a lot. I'm in a field. I see a bald eagle. I'm not scared. Like I'm not like that's the king around here. We round the corner and a lion comes our way. You bet your ass I'm cruising the other way.
No, that's fair.
Like-
yeah, I get that.
Like, what are we doing? Swimming?
I think that's pretty easy for everyone.
Yeah, but I mean, what, sharks?
We don't live in
That
the
barely
ocean.
happens.
Right.
What about some
We
other
live on
shit?
land.
Nobody talks about the jellyfish.
You are right about that. You're right about that, man.
I mean,
Talk about
he's
it.
like, bro, I know you guys are scared
let's
of
talk about
sharks,
jellyfish
but then
right now.
jellyfish don't get you.
Those fuckers will be around, and you won't even know they're
Yeah, you're
around.
gonna see the shark
until
coming,
you
right?
jump in. It's too late, and you're in a whole pool of them.
And you're getting stung.
Yeah.
Stingray's
Steve
another
Irwin.
one. They hide under
Damn.
the sand.
Yeah, he thought he had it.
Yeah, I will say I've been. I was out scuba diving in Mexico, and this stingray comes across, and I was hightailing it to the boat.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, "What's going on?" I was like, "I don't know." That thing swims up, and
Oh, and the ones with the long stingers. Oh God.
yeah, I've been stung
You're
by a bee
dead.
before. I don't want to be stung by a stingray.
That's a good point.
That'd be the end of the
That's a good
podcast.
point.
The podcast would be over. Nobody would have anything to listen to. All right, Dawn, what's the next question?
How about we have Philip read one of these?
Dawn's like, I don't know which one.
Oh,
Yeah,
this-
they're all
This
kinda
is
weird.
probably a good one.
Uh,
Interesting ones. What do you think? Yeah. You wake up in a video game. What's the first thing you do?
Like, do we get picked a video game?
Just anything. Use your imagination.
Like I'm
You
in Call
wake
of
up-
Duty Modern Warfare 2. I get my sniper rifle with 360 quick scoping.
Bro, I'm on GTA taking over Miami.
That's a good pick.
GTA would be
Dude,
good. Yeah.
That does sound a little
That's a
more
fun
fun than what I was
So,
doing.
yeah, I'm running over people.
sounds deadly.
I'm trying to get 5 stars on GTA.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's see how fast we
That'd
can
be
get
a
5
good
stars.
time. Like,
It would be a good time.
Go
Trying to
steal a
break into
plane.
get
Yeah,
that
go steal
plane
the
from the
plane.
airport.
I haven't played GTA in a long time. No, Logan's making the Logan's making a
just plays
dynasty.
golf. Like okay, what if you're stuck in a game for the rest of your life? What game are you getting stuck in?
Oh god.
GTA.
You have everything
Okay,
on that game.
GTA's off the board as an answer.
Los Angeles.
None of the
Let's go down to
GTA's
San
bro.
Andreas.
College football 2025.
Okay.
Which is almost like GTA.
Shit, I don't know.
You live in it the rest of your life.
That's
Mario, man, just running around.
Mario
grabbing coins.
Mario Kart.
about
Just
to say
go Mario Kart. Just
Mario
driving.
Kart, you're just driving.
Yeah, I'm just
You're
I'm just
driving.
shedding bananas.
Rainbow Road
I'm just shedding
forever.
bananas the rest of my life, trying to peel people out.
That'd be fun.
Throwing fucking.
Dude, do you
turtle
think you
shells
drive
every
from
time?
California to Florida and not get worn out about it? Now think about just driving the same loop
Oh,
forever.
dude, yeah,
But you're throwing bananas.
yeah.
Oh, that'd be
The
fun.
Oregon Trail would be fun.
That's a throwback.
But they always died of something on the
Yeah,
Oregon
that,
Trail. There
that was a
lot
tough
of
trail,
death.
man.
A lot of
You wouldn't
people
live.
didn't make
You
it.
so you're not living very long, but it'll be the rest of your life.
Ooh, that Sims would have been a good. One.
Classic. That is a good one.
But then you're kind of just
Bro, I remember when the original Sims came out on the computer. Before. it
guys.
came
That's
out.
like literally just life, though. At that point,
Yeah.
So, would there be any benefit of like being in the game?
You could
Dude,
become
did you watch Mario the movie?
I did not. Is it good?
I don't know. They were just plumbers and they was going out, and then they end up in the game like doing the same shit. Like,
Oh, okay.
like I don't know. I didn't finish it.
I think I
started
fell
it.
asleep during
Yeah.
during Mario. How do you spot a bad client early?
Left turn.
when they reschedule their onboarding 2 different times.
Yeah.
Red
Fair.
flag.
Red
flag.
flag.
Number
Red flag.
one.
Red
Punctuality.
flag is when I think when you meet business owners, there's a lot of business owners that psych themselves out of everything. If you have somebody that talks themselves out of everything that they do, I think got a bug in here. But and I also think there's people that just aren't willing to bet on themselves and not willing to bet on their companies. And that's not even in relevance of like straight marketing. It's just in things in general that you have this gnat in here. It's gonna drive me nuts.
Logan's
There's-
rapid firing questions over here.
You see it?
Yeah, I see it. I'm
Every
gonna
time I start
just-
talking,
hey.
it comes back.
Yeah,
I stop talking and it goes away. There's probably going to be a whole reel of me just swinging. Wah, wah, wah. New Karate Kid. There's a new Karate Kid movie coming out. But no, I think a lot of times if they're just indecisive on decisions, they psych themselves out and they're not willing to bet on what they do. I think it is just a recipe for business not panning out probably the way that they're thinking. And also if I sit with someone that owns a business, they talk about being the best person in their business and no one being as good as them. Most of the time that's a huge red flag. I think that's just a red flag in people when they think that they're the best at everything. 99% of the time they're not. Like, or 100% of the time. Like, I look at it, you want to surround yourself with better people. So if you have a leader that can't find better people to put around them, they're probably not a great leader anyways.
You almost had it that time.
That was close.
I think a lot of those business owners live in the scarcity mindset.
For sure. Which, I mean, our world's bred people into living in a scarcity mindset. And it's villainized people making money. It's villainized the successful business owners and when people go out in business and they make it in so many different aspects of it, but we praise pro athletes. Mm-hmm. We praise a pro athlete that at 21, 22 years old can sign a $500 million contract. Forbid a business owner go out and figure out how to scale a business and make money that way. Now all of a sudden you're a criminal.
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty wild. Mm-hmm. Like, and that it goes right back to that winners win and losers lose.
Yeah.
Like, the people that have that scarcity mindset, when you start talking about that and they get offended, it's because they know you're talking directly at them.
Yeah.
So it's like, there's a lot of times like we can directly talk at someone, and there's people that have tried to say they're going to challenge us in business. Be my fucking guest. Because I know how they operate, and when we talk about being able to spot a bad business owner, we can spot it a mile away. Towards there's also just bad apples in the world. Like, there's people that are out for the wrong reasons. There's people that are out for themselves, that they think they're the smartest people in the room every time. And it's like, not just business owners, but those types of people don't win.
Yeah. No matter what they do.
Yeah. Also, when the action and the results don't line up with the words.
They say one thing and then they either do a different action or lack of action.
Or when we've had people come in and they're talking all these numbers that they're doing, but when then you start talking numbers of account, their tone changes really quick. So they want to try to have, I don't know what you want to call it. I want to say like clout or whatever. They want to have something at a table that makes them feel good, and that's what how they're feeling validation is to state some number that in their head they know isn't true. And we've been around business owners that make a lot of different amounts of money, and it's just like be truthful to what those numbers are.
Yeah.
I'm way more prone to help someone. We've sat in meetings that if somebody was just honest with me, there's nothing that pisses me off more than when people lie. We've had people say like, well, I spend $8,000 a month. And then next time you talk to them, I spend $4,000 a month. Actually, realistically, I pulled it up. I think I spent $1,500. I'm like, if you think that if you fucking stated that you spent $8,000 a month and when we pulled it up, you spent $1,500. Yeah.
Either you have the wrong accountant or you just can't math.
Yeah.
The math
Your math ain't mathing. So what we got next?
We doing a serious one again, or are we doing going back? Logan did send me a laundry list over here.
You sent you a laundry list?
Maybe he's just rapid firing them off.
Let's pull one out.
Start at the top. If you could combine two animals into the ultimate pet, what would they be, and what would you name it? So you're combining two animals into the ultimate pet. What two animals, and what would the name be of this new animal?
Wow, that's a very in-depth question.
Slog. That's good.
We should have had a mic over there for him.
That is good.
No, Dre doesn't need mine. He just
It's gotta be the ugliest fucking name.
Slog.
That's gonna be Dre's new
I have a
nickname,
slog.
Slog. That's gonna be Dre's new nickname, Slog.
we call
So
Dre
what?
Slug.
If we explore that idea a little bit, though, like what part is coming from the sloth and what part's coming from the dog? Because we could be thinking about totally different things.
Yeah, is this like a dog front? So is this
Just
like
slower.
dog front half, sloth rear half? So just kind of like a tail dragger airplane, or is it like,
Oh
What?
man.
or is this like dog rear end, sloth front side?
Oh, just like a fusion together. That's interesting.
I'm
I'll
glad
do-
you guys have good imaginations.
I would do a
Man,
giraffe
I'm glad.
and a lab. Think about if you had like a dog, but
Wait, what? A giraffe and a lab.
What?
like a dog, like a lab dog.
So is it a dog with a big ass neck?
Yeah. Think about that thing.
That sounds inconvenient.
When Dre said that, why?
Because it would like be like all up in your business all the time, just looking at you in the face.
Yeah, think about how cool that you're like sitting there, you're like, hey, what's
It's
up?
just licking you.
You're like pet your dog like right here. You're like,
Was some
Okay.
skinny ass dog.
yeah. They would look like those. What were the dinosaurs with the real long fucking
Oh
head?
my god.
Oh,
Yeah.
But they're little.
what is that big
Think
thing?
about if Oakley
It's a
could get.
common name we've
Yeah.
seen.
Think about if Oakley could get his head a little higher.
Okay, what would you call it?
What would I call that? I don't fucking know.
It's a dinosaur.
No, it's right from the sky.
No, the big thing, the huge thing.
Like
with the big
Yeah, that's
the
not
plant,
a velociraptor.
like the bronchosaur.
yeah,
Bronchiosaurus.
yeah.
that's it.
yes.
The old Bronchiosaurus.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
All right, next question. That was no.
That
That
was-
was plenty of time on that one. That, I apologize to anybody. I apologize for the last 3 minutes of our podcast.
What sport would be the funniest to watch if everyone was required to be drunk?
What sport?
Yes, what sport would be the
Like-
funniest to watch if everyone was required to be drunk?
I mean,
Playing-
golf's pretty funny,
playing
and I've
drunk?
seen you pretty drunk golfing. so.
Basketball would be good.
Soccer would be hilarious.
Oh, soccer would
darts.
be good. Paintball.
Darts would be a good one. Somebody might end
Darts
up
would
without
be
an
good.
eye, but
I mean, you could just see that if you go to the bars, right?
Yeah,
I
that's.
feel like golf's already won. Like, people already get drunk playing golf. So
yeah.
Did
Football would be
someone say
funny.
baseball? I feel like
Oh, baseball
I
would
feel
be
like
good.
that would. I mean,
That'd be a good one.
pitching, hitting.
Yeah, and it's
that
nice.
would
Like
be-
nobody's gonna get hurt, probably.
Unless
Oh,
someone gets hit in the
definitely.
face with a baseball.
Someone's getting tagged. Reflexes a little too slow.
Yeah,
Yeah. Probably wouldn't see a lot of
Baseball would be
hits.
I have seen what happens when a baseball hits a third baseman in the face. It's not very good. No, it doesn't work out too well for him.
But if MMG was a fast food chain,
Ooh.
which would we be and why?
Which
Fast food.
Fast food.
Fast
So
food.
let's consider like it's got a drive through. It's a chain.
Could it be fast casual too, or
Does it have a drive through?
Chain.
Yeah, some of them
drive-through,
do.
Fast food.
We'd probably throw it in there.
like not all Chipotles have drive-throughs, but some do.
That's a good point.
Panda Expresses all have drive-thrus. Or most of them.
Some of them do.
Well, Liberty
Some
one
don't.
does.
Liberty does.
By zone, it doesn't.
Superior
True.
fast food. Panda Express.
We'd be Panda Express.
I heard who
Locking
said
it.
Chick-fil-A.
Hey.
Chick-fil-A.
You're gonna say
That's
Chick-fil-A?
that's what I was thinking.
How come?
Just the quality of it, quality of the food, quality of the employees.
That's a good answer.
Yeah,
That's a good one. I was gonna say Chipotle.
How come?
Quality of the food compared to other fast food places. Yeah, sure.
it's healthy.
I mean, it's
Kinda,
got a
can
shit
be.
ton of sodium, but just drink your water. You'll be fine.
I think yes. Another hill I would die on. People need more sodium.
Yes.
Ricky's all
You
on
think
the
so?
health side of
I don't
things.
think I do.
Dalton, you might not.
Dalton's clogged
I
up.
don't,
Hey,
Dalton's just clogged up all over the place.
I don't know if that's what that means. I don't know where that came from.
I
But
don't know.
okay. I'm like, where did that come from?
Just clogged up over there.
He just
like
looks
an-
clogged up.
We definitely know Dane's not after what happened earlier.
No, I'm not clogged up. Never am.
All right, don't eat too much sodium to get clogged up. That's WebMD here.
All right, what's next?
That was is that who would be the worst athlete to be a roommate with and why? Yeah. Which athlete would make the worst roommate and why?
Like name of athlete or just
Yeah, I think are you, like a
Like a
person.
set person? I don't even know if I can name that many
person or
athletes.
just a category of sport.
No, I think it's supposed to be a person.
A person? Do we know any professional sumo wrestlers?
I don't. I don't. They're probably clogged up though.
Bro, the Undertaker.
Is that an athlete, a professional
Undertaker
eater?
right there.
Are you saying that hot dog eaters are athletes? We did corn dog racing competitions at the dealership, so I guess that makes Justin and those guys athletes.
Must. It must.
All right, next one.
Dude, yeah, I'm not reading that.
Which marketing buzzword needs to be banned forever?
ROAS.
God, I
Oh,
fucking hate
ROAS.
I feel like a lot of people hang on impressions like they're
Yes.
everything.
I feel like people
Impressions,
hang on
impressions.
ROAS because one, they never put anything towards organic. They don't understand how organic can help drive the paid side. That
That's fair.
front side when you're running ads, if you are running ads and you have a dead organic forefront, you're putting someone into the funnel and they have nowhere to go. So if they want to learn more about you, there's no way to drive them down the sales process without the organic side. So I think all these marketing companies just live on ROAS. I think it's fucking bullshit.
because they can easily measure it for the client. Because I always get asked, if it's X amount a month, what can I expect to see in return? Well, number one, it's different for every business. But with ROAS, you can specifically,
And that's like,
are we going to put a 30X or a 10X? It's a number that
Holy
people can
shit.
just grasp.
There's like 7 deer out there. Sorry.
yeah.
This is out in the wilderness.
I see.
But ROAS, they market if you can get a 4 or 5 ROAS, that's huge. And on the paid side, which, we have accounts that yield that, but it's also because they have a great organic presence. And it's like, that has to be built up. There has to be some sort, the content has to be right. And then the other thing that we've ran into clients like, well, if you guarantee this, then we'll do it. I was like, I don't know who your salespeople are. I don't know. There's so many factors outside of marketing that we're going to base this off sold accounts. And I had one client, he's like, well, I think you should guarantee this and I'll move forward. I'm like, well, your average response time to a client's 4 fucking days, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely not.
There's so many other things that go into that equation that they don't even factor.
If we ran the whole entire business, then I would guarantee it.
Right.
Then it would be our
The
business.
operation side is huge. Just like you say all the time, the marketing piece is just a leg. There's the sales side, the operation side within their business.
What their product and service looks like.
Right.
We've had people sit literally in our office in the last 3 months and tell us that they have the best service of anyone around. These people we know use them and say that was the worst experience I've had. So that's my deal, is where there's too many of those factors that you want to look at ROAS. Also, you get one client, you have a great product and service. That person's going to tell someone else. That person tells someone else, and those people all tell another person. Now you could end up with 6 deals off that we can't correlate down into the ad. And 99% of business owners are not tracking well enough that far down line to understand where they're coming from. What? Well, 25% of our business is referral. Great. How'd you get the client the first time? They end up yielding a referral. Think of that. Think about which pathway is yielding the best referral deals. Business owner, think about that.
Yeah, you don't just start out with referrals.
Yeah. Nobody opened up a business like day one. They're like, oh, I got all these referrals. Like,
That'd be awesome if that was the case.
I mean, that would be cool. Like, I don't think that's how it goes.
That is underestimated, though, back to your point with the organic reach. Because once your organic is built up, oftentimes that surpasses the paid.
Yeah, which
Once you've been in business long enough and you've built up that following, but most people want that following and that instant gratification of, oh, I'm putting X amount towards this. I want to see X in return. They're not willing to wait the 12 months, 2 years of what that looks like.
You look at big corporate companies, and I feel like they almost run at the worst, that they'll put all this money behind production on ads and everything else, and their organic social movement is like the most basic bullshit graphics you've ever seen. To where it's like somebody sees this like really high end thing, then they end up in funnel like, well, that doesn't match.
Not following that.
Well, they're not going to follow it, and you got them interested. You got someone that they're walking. That's like you walking down the store, walking by a restaurant, and then having a bunch of really high end food in the window, and you're like, oh, I'm going to go in there. You walk in there like, well, this isn't even close to the same food that's in the window. Not in the same place.
That's true.
No, I'm not eating here. You walk out. Like, it'd be like going to a clothing store and them having a bunch of clothes in the window. You walk in, you're like, oh, this is actually a children's store. Like, completely different than what was in the window. You have to pique someone's interest to get them in funnel. Once you get them there, then you have the opportunity to move them down to actually become a client or to yield the sale.
I like it.
Yeah.
Solid.
Any other buzzwords that you want to, Nick, say?
I think impressions are used way too much. I mean,
I just had one recently say that.
They lean on impressions. Like my last marketing company got me like 2 million impressions a month. I'm like,
I mean, you can run ads after impressions and yield no results. And
right. Exactly.
Like, that's why I told marketing companies when I was in the car business, like, well, you got 2.1 million impressions this month. I'm like, I didn't sell any more cars.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to do. If you told me that you showed it to 20 people and I sold 10, I'd be pretty jazzed. Wasn't normally the case. And then also in like dealership conquesting.
I was going to say, I don't know if these two are like necessarily buzzwords because they're not really new.
Yeah.
Like I think of like buzzwords as like new
conquesting
terms.
in the dealership.
That would what I would call it.
That's you have a lot of these like
a buzzword.
These hokey pokey. They're huge marketing firms, but their marketing is rough. But they're just, we're conquesting. And it's to pull the data points of people in the local area of who owns similar vehicles or who would be most likely to buy. It's just a bunch of random data that doesn't work. So, but they're conquesting.
That sounds cool.
Dealers like, are you conquesting?
It just
I was like,
stupid.
Yeah, I'm like, we can run one paid ad for you, and I can yield more than all your conquesting you've done in the last month. What?
Dude,
I don't know if your guys' all your questions are about animals.
Well, the last one was about athletes. I mean,
that was a very strange question.
This is a weird one too. What's the weirdest thing you believed as a child? Like, I don't even know.
I feel like we already kind of covered that. What? I think ChatGPT was making better ones. All right, Rick, you hit me with another one while they're trying to find something.
All right, man. We've got If your marketing company had a theme song, what would it be? Still just Rick Ross?
Still Rick Ross.
Fair enough.
I don't know. I think we have some Big X the Plug vibe going on as well, not just Rick Ross. Sus.
And what's your biggest lesson, or anybody, biggest lesson from leading a team?
Trust people.
That's tough.
It's still something I struggle with, but it's just trust people and let people fail. I think it was something that you have to let people fall. You have to let people figure it out. And I think especially when you have, I feel like a lot of times I surround myself with people that are similar in a way, that are kind of hard-headed also. And it's like I've always had to learn some lessons on my own. And I sat down, I was having drinks with a guy that when I started leadership side, he's like, are you letting them actually be leaders, or are you compressing everything? So it was when we started just doing a lot of different things, like decisions I started letting go, and I was like, I don't know if I would have made that decision, but I'm like, I'll see how it pans out. And then it was like, it doesn't work, but then I see that somebody is fixing that, and they've now came up with a better way than what I thought about it the first time, because they fell and they saw a way not to do it. Where it's just, I think, trusting people, that if we're on the right path and the right people are sitting at the table, you have to trust them. Yeah.
So for those that cannot hear that, Logan made an awesome point. He was saying that don't assume that everybody has all the knowledge and context that you have.
Yeah. I think to that point, a lot of times in business where my dad and I butted heads a lot was I didn't have the full lens of what was taking place. So I saw through 25% of it. And that 25%, I felt like I was right. I didn't understand why he couldn't see it. And the reason I couldn't see what he was looking at was because I didn't have the full picture. And I think that's something I've worked a lot harder at doing, is when speaking with the leadership, being upfront about the leadership group, about being upfront to where they know where I stand. They're seeing more of the picture, to where it's not just like, oh, Dane has this like random idea, I disagree with him. Like, oh, this is kind of why that we're doing X, Y, and Z. So I think understanding too that sometimes, most of the time, people don't have that same lens that you're looking through, and they might not be able to see 100% of the picture.
I think it's a good one.
I think leading on an individual basis is key, not just, grouping everyone together, trying to do the same thing, because, different people respond to different, ways of leadership. So, and that, could be determined on age or experience, whatever it may be. But I don't think you can treat everyone the same way. You have to just kind of find how people tick and use that to your advantage when trying to lead them.
Yeah. I think everyone's in a different chapter in life at different points. And we go find 5 people, we put them in, everyone's going to have different things that they need to work on. People are all going to be at different stages in life. And it's kind of crazy sometimes when we have people in the office that are 20, 21 years old. We're looking at their movement in life and where they're at. And that sometimes people get frustrated when somebody that age gets so been out of shape, or their emotional control isn't there, that something gets them all fired up. And
it's happened a lot.
But it's like, sure. I'm like, take us back to 21. We were all the same way.
Yeah.
Like, you look at maturity level, so it's meet them where they're at instead of expecting them to meet you where you're at. When, like Logan was saying, they don't have that knowledge base. They don't have that understanding yet.
Yeah.
They don't have the life experiences yet. They haven't been through those things. So it's,
I think your response comes with maturity.
So Logan was saying what your response is to a problem can be, or how you respond to a problem can be more important than like what the actual solving is. Which I think that goes to the emotional control. Like today we had a guy message in that was like, no way would I pay $4,000 or $5,000 for marketing, blah, 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 this huge thing. And Angela's like slides the computer over to me.
Oh, yeah.
I put together like this real professional response back. I was like, I was like, it sounds like we just want to be a good fit then. I was like, I really appreciate you reaching out. We work with a lot of Kansas City's most elite companies, and we've helped scale a lot of small companies into being large companies, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, hope you kill it when one day we have the opportunity to work together. And it was like the guy's whole attitude like changed. He messaged back. He's like, well, yeah, I'm just not as big as those companies yet, but like I'm interested in like doing something. And I was like, the power of just a professional response and the way that you handle that. And it goes to the same thing if it's external or internal. There's handle that from a level position, not being like been really easy like to go after on a defensive position.
And that's back to the perspective thing that Logan mentioned, though, is he just through his context of his business, that would be a lot.
Yeah.
That could totally be the case for his business, but not the case for somebody else's business. And that's not within his realm of perception. So he just doesn't even consider it.
Yeah. But what's next? We'll do one more and call it evening.
Gotta be a good one, huh? Do you want to do that one, number 6?
I don't care. I mean, now it's the last one, probably not.
All right. If you had to wear one Halloween costume forever, what would it be? This is not question 6. This is question
Not
9.
the question I was going to ask.
That makes me more interested in what number 6 was.
All right. You guys can choose which one you want to answer.
All right, yeah. So which one did you do?
I did 9.
9? Okay. So mine was going to be, would you rather have spaghetti for hair or sweat maple syrup?
Do what?
Would you rather have spaghetti for hair or sweat maple
I'm just
syrup?
gonna go with the sweat maple syrup
I'm
because
sweating the syrup.
Bro, you're sticky.
but you're not always sweating though. I mean, you got to live with that hair forever. You have spaghetti for hair.
That's true.
You could just shave it off like Ricky
Or
over here.
could you?
No, you have to live with it forever.
So do you have little spaghetti noodles growing out? Because I had to shave this shit every day. You want to shave little spaghettis?
No. Sweat maple syrup though. That sounds
At least
like a
it
mess.
smells good.
Dude, I feel like if you were sweat maple syrup, if you went to a bar, girls would be all about you. Like,
Yeah, you smell so
does that
sweet.
smell? Somebody have maple syrup? I sweat maple syrup, actually. You'd be like, oh my God. Yeah.
Anyways, so those were the.
What, Trey's over there sweating on his pancakes?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that was one way to end it. Hit us with a better question than that to end it.
Dude, I'm telling you, there's not.
You also
that
got the
great
Halloween
ones.
costume.
Oh, Halloween costume. Let's end with that one.
You're a ghost. What's your haunting strategy?
Haunting strategy.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a great question for Dre though, because it's his favorite holiday and all. I mean,
We have to live as
Easy.
one Halloween character forever.
no, you can only wear one Halloween costume forever. You don't
Like
have to. You don't have to like live as that character. It's just you have to be one thing for Halloween for the rest of your life.
Oh,
Michael
just for
Myers.
Halloween, or we wear it every day?
Just for
Oh,
mean-
so that changes.
I mean,
things.
that's not like that big of a deal. Like,
What would you be then? A classic.
one thing.
Lorna and I did a 80s workout couple. I think I'd do that.
Yeah.
Stretchy pants, move around, sun's out, guns out.
Yeah.
I have a wig that I throw on.
There you go. I really liked my John Cena costume back in the
Are you
day.
sure you didn't like your Bane outfit?
That was a good one too. I'm not in good enough shape for that now though.
Yeah. Oh, Buddy the
That
Elf.
was not
Buddy the
Halloween. That
Elf.
was
Yeah.
Christmas. That was Christmas, dude.
That was Chris.
Drop in
You guys-
the comments if you want Dalton to be an elf again for Christmas.
That definitely wouldn't fit me anymore.
Dude, you know what I'm thinking this year? We get the bins, and that's the sleigh. And then we get a group of elves, and we go, Dalton's going to be one of them. So we'll let you be, you can be head elf. And then we,
Thanks.
yeah.
That's a big deal. That's
Yeah.
an honor.
And then I'll dress up as Santa Claus, and we go around to all of our clients, and we go deliver gifts.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that idea.
And Dalton will Christmas. We see Rick Ross in their parking lot. I don't think Dalton.
John Cena.
Johnson.
He's like, final answer. Philip.
Halloween costume forever. Michael Myers.
Classic.
Yeah.
Classic. Can't go wrong with that one.
Like as Austin Powers or Fat Bastard. Or... Is that who you're talking about? Like Mike Myers, the actor?
No, like the serial killer.
Serial killer.
I thought you were talking about like Michael Myers, the actor.
No. Serial killer.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna sit over here now.
What an idiot. Dude, that. I know.
Stumped everyone now.
I don't feel like anyone's had like a good answer.
John Cena was
Dude,
pretty good.
80s workout
I
guy.
don't know.
I got hair.
Maybe
That was
like
cool.
Scream. Like I feel like it's just forever.
Another classic.
That sounds like Michael Myers.
Which one from Austin Powers?
No, actually from the music shop.
Oh, yep. All right. I think we got way fucking derailed.
Little
So
bit.
I think we'll wrap it up on this. Hopefully you had a few laughs. Maybe just got to know some people sitting here at the table a little bit more. Maybe there was some nuggets in there. Maybe stretch. But that did seem like it went pretty fast. So, and yeah.
Oh,
We said 30 minutes. It was an hour.
But, yeah. So if you want to slog, reach out to Dre.
Hit up Dre
Get-
for the slogs.
Get your slog.
Slogs for sale.
Slog. But that's M3 Podcast. Peace out.
Thanks for listening to the M3 Podcast. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. Want to learn more? Check us out on Instagram at Moss Marketing Group, on Facebook at Moss Marketing 58, or on our website at mossmarketinggroup.com.